Yo, 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 yo. What's good, my people? What's good, my people? It's Gooner back in the building. Like the sound of work. That's good. Yeah, man. We're back in the building for another EPL review show. It's game week 8, people. So, we have to give it a full breakdown of the week, all the fixtures, talk about the hot topics of the week, different calls in the games. That every week the referees are the stars of the show. So we're there for breakdown all of it, people. And you don't know, Arsenal fans receive a lot of abuse this weekend, which is understandable. First loss for the season, first away loss of the entire calendar year as well. One that most people wouldn't have seen coming, but the writing was kind of on the wall early in the game. But we'll get to that game. I'm itching to speak about my Gunners, but we're gonna do what we always do, people. Give each and every game the time. Of course, the ones that I had a chance to watch, definitely, we're gonna discuss a little more in detail because man only have two eyeballs, 4 or 5 different devices so we can watch things on. So we can't watch everything, people. It's impossible. The ones we watch, you kind of can tell. We'll talk a little more detail about it. But all of them, we're going to get the time of going through the stats and seeing how the game go, all these things. Of course, we got a chance to see the highlights of all the matches so we can speak on everything. All right, people. So big up all the people that have been supporting the channel. We are over the 1K mark now. I think we're 1,300 odd. Still approaching the 14. So yeah, man, if you are new to the channel, first time seeing Jason Gooner, yes, consider dropping a subscription because you don't know this is a football channel. You'll see once the banter get going in the chat section, we have a whole heap of fun as well while we discuss and break down the football scene. Yeah, man, Jay Chalom said fully active Gooner. Yeah, man, we outside Chalom. Big up yourself. Yeah, man, respect. Drop that thumbs up there on the video, people. You don't know, find the locate the like button, smash it. Yeah, man, it's very simple. It's not so hard. Yeah, and if you want to donate to the channel, do so. Yeah, man, do so. But big up on yourself, man. Duke said, man's on a flight. I hope I'll catch the last part of the program when I'm announced as the winner. Well, Duke, hopefully you can still be on the program, Flights have Wi-Fi now, so it's probably a good way to pass the time on a flight, listening to this program talking about the football. Yeah, man, big up yourself, Duke. Safe travels. Safe travels on your journey, my brother. All right, cool. So let me see here. Let me get the games up and going. I know like for pre the stats on this particular one. Other sites are available, as my brethren Ty would say. But I tend to like this one. I think it's the most thorough. Gives me the stats I want. So I have no issues with it. And as I say, other ones are available. All right, let's see. Matches. Yeah, it is. All right, cool. So I have it. Yeah, so let's get right into the games of the week. Bless up DJ Gigs. Big up yourself, Gigs. We're gone. We're outside. So Gigs, we're making a prediction a week time. You always I miss the Friday show. Up, course. We're gone. Brent said Gunners for life. What you mean, bro? Win or lose or draw. Not London forever. Yeah, man. Still a support same way. Nothing no change. Never change. All right. So I could get on the screen right away. I get right into the game then. Oran, big up yourself, Blessings. Yeah, me there I watch the JPL match as well, I just cast it to the TV, So hold on, as a matter of fact, I'm start out the TV real quick. Hold on, people. Go and smash the likes, Yeah. Big up to the Sports Max app. Mans can watch some JPL at night time and evening time. Good thing that Bless up at Chile. Go on. Why? You know, run as bad as me this week, Chile, but it's rough. Liverpool last goal was half side. You think so? I don't think so. Curtis start him run from deep, man. Him start him run from deep enough. RR say LFC. Yeah, man, can't talk to me right now. When I set the pace, it's all right. We have been pace setters. It don't always work out, you know. Try a different approach at time. Yeah, man, up top. All right, so people them arrive a forwarding. Make sure you smash the like button. You don't know how that go. Yeah, man. I don't know. Donations are welcomed. So this is what we have going on now. The first match of the weekend. Tottenham versus West Ham, 4-1, as you can see. Of course, Kudus scored this week because we're dashing in a fantasy about a couple of weeks now. So Kudus probably going to start score people. I'm telling you, because I'm dashing in a FPL. So life goes go more, I don't know. My brother, in a draft league with me, same thing him always I say, if him get rid of a baller, must score it. It never fails. But Spurs were able to equalize in the first half through Kulusevski. Then a barrage of goals between the 52nd and 68th minute, 3 goals to be exact. Bissouma getting one, the own goal from Areola, and of course Son getting his goal as well. So Son, a vintage performance from him, back to his best. It looked like, fully fit. I think you heard Ange talking about that in the press conference as well. He got a lot of time to just recover, get right for this next stretch of games, and you could see the difference in his performance for sure. I think he was aided in the fact that he was playing West Ham, because I'm telling you, people, this manager from West Ham, Lopetegui, has to be the closest to being fired out of all the managers. Because I'm telling you, before my initial thoughts on this West Ham team was they might, with their additions and everything, be able to do something this year. And it just hasn't panned out that way. It hasn't worked out. I think the midfield hasn't worked. This back line is somewhat of a semblance of what you would think it's going to look like when they're fully fit. I thought Todibo was a really good signing. Obviously started out on the bench injured, so hasn't really, made that transition to the EPL life so smoothly. Kilman, I think, is solid, but, is it that he's really a back three defender? He's now playing in a back four here at West Ham. It hasn't worked. Is that something they could maybe try to do to combat the fact that their midfield is not the most athletic? Just have 3 defenders back there in case. Is that something they could look into? Wan-Bissaka, I'm sure, could comfortably, easily play that right centre back role. Has the defensive capability to do so. Maybe that's something they could try. But that's not really Lopetegui's MO either. He's not a back 3 coach. So, something has to give though, because the people they have in this midfield is not going to work. Paqueta, Souček, Guido, none of them really are what you would call, running midfielders. I think Guido, extremely technical, ball possession, ball retention player. Souček, really just an arrival late into the box. That's really his main threat on the pitch. Even though he's a big, tall guy, yes, he can block spaces and channels, but not really gonna track down people and tackle them. It's not really, doesn't have that type of foot speed. And then Paqueta, another retention type player. Then if he's not doing ball retention, he's trying to find the defense splitting pass, maybe not keeping possession as much. And, while he does move a lot on the pitch, maybe his energy is not so high. You don't really see him in a dead sprint much while he's playing. So I think that balance of midfielders that they have, and even when you look at the options they have on the bench, Edson Alvarez, another ball retention type player, probably the one who would cover the ground the best out of all of them. But again, he's been kind of coming back from injury as well. So we haven't really seen the best of him. Soler, another technical ball retention type player. Maybe earlier in his career, a bit more energy. But, none of these players really strike me as that prototypical EPL athleticism type of midfielder. They don't have it. And he's trying to play a kind of expansive game. And I don't feel like he has the You know, they say horses for courses. I don't believe he has the horses to run the meat that he's trying to run, honestly. So it's something has to give strategy-wise or formation, system, something. You know, Antonio, back from international break, of course, our reggae boy. This is what he did on the day. He was substituted after 61 minutes. As you can see, not really able to get many touches inside the width of the 18. Most of his touches coming when he drifts wide out to the right or even to the left. You know, no shots even attempted on the day. He was successful on 2 out of 4 dribbles. He tried 16 touches, good passing accuracy, 6 for 7, 86%. He was 3 of 5 on ground duels, 1 of 2 on the aerials, 5 possession lost on the day, 1 foul, and he was caught offside once. But other than that, just a quiet day at the office for him and for West Ham's attack for the most part. I think Kudus was really the only player in that on the whole pitch that looked like they wanted to do anything. You see, Wan-Bissaka got a decent score, and so did Guido. But you know, watching the game from what I saw, Kudus was really the man. And then he just messed up his whole entire day, getting a red card in the end. So the first of many on this EPL weekend. I need to look up and see if that's some kind of record, the amount of red cards. I think it was 5 red cards this weekend. So yeah. Duke said, lift up Teggy. Kudus is a very good protector of the ball. Very hard to take off the ball. Extremely difficult. I think if Kudus has end product in any of his games, he plays incredible. Because pretty much every game him do something mad with a dribble or something, but the end product isn't always there, to be honest. It's not very consistent with the end product, or not consistent enough. And he's like a streaky player, so maybe he got a goal in this game. You know, now he has a red card though, so he has to sit out. And I think it was a straight red as well, so that's gonna be a 3-game ban for sure. So yeah, just gonna kill his momentum right as it gets started, because I think this was one of his best performances this season so far. Even though his team got 4-1, he was like the only one doing anything. Clear offside. Nah. Wait, say, come Christmas him gone. Boy, I mean, I tell you, I was gonna do it. Let me ask you guys honestly. So let's see. So let me see, man. I try to think, people. Lopetegui. So this will see. So let me see what you guys think. I started a poll to see what you guys think. Lopetegui sacked by Christmas. So obviously, if you say yes, that means by the time Christmas forward, is a new manager there already. If you say no, that means you think him survive to that Christmas period. So let me know what you guys think. I voted yes. I don't think he's gonna last, because I just don't see how it's gonna work with the personnel. Like it just not gonna work, bro. It not gonna work. Them don't have the legs to play the system they want to play. The man need for like get. You see all them 3 better than on the other team. If him have even Yves Bissouma, Kulusevski, them kind of running athletic player there. Not even so much Madison, but Madison even put in more work than a Paqueta on the other side. So it is levels to it at the same time. Gig saying, don't think West Ham should sack the coach. Well, if they stick with him, you know, they're just going to have to realize that, boy, it's a lot of money going to have to throw at this project. And they might have to, like, trade their most valuable asset, you know, like Bowen or, you know, I think Bowen or Kudus probably would be the most money, or even Paqueta. I'm sure him still have a good value on him. So they have to get rid of some ball and regroup, bro, because them need new legs for the system if them going to keep him. Duke said, lift up. Said that already. Big up the man then. Big up Conrad. Yeah, man. Every time, bro. Big up yourself. Paqueta is not a defensive midfielder. He's most effective in attacking third. Agreed. Then Tenag. Yeah, that's a me I wonder, you know. But they want to start a poll and say, which manager more likely to fire first? And like pick out some manager, you know. Definitely Tenag would have been in the mix. and my boy from West Ham, Lopetegui. So, yeah, man, must big up yourself. Gooners for life. Oops, we did it again. Played with red card and this time lose. Facts. Kudus red too. Can you believe it? Mass fantasy team, 2 red cards. Saliba and Kudus. Rough. Well, I had Kudus at one time. I haven't had Saliba this year. I always said I was gonna go with Gabriel over him because of the goal threat. You know, that was my thinking behind that. Another goal for Atafari by Grave. So games at Waterhouse this week, people, in Jamaica, and under the lights at Jerusalem. Bygrave. Good finish. Good finish from Bygrave. 1-0 to Waterhouse over Harbour View. Dre anywhere that turn off him TV. Where's a sack by Christmas? All right, Chris. West Ham was complaining about sacking their previous manager. Now they're complaining. Yeah, Gigs, that is true, you know. The West Ham fans need to accept because, I mean, they were the ones calling for, you know, this newer age football, more modern style of football, something that David Moyes just showed that he wasn't really interested in for the most part. But, you know, maybe the team has constructed, it just made more sense to play pragmatic and that type of way. You know, there's no, I mean, yes, last season it was a bit lean in Premier League. But, you know, you can't argue with the consistency of like, okay, not really being in any kind of relegation battles or anything like that. And, you know, getting that trophy in Europe, albeit the Conference League, it doesn't matter. I mean, they had other teams that were decent in that competition. They beat them all. So you have to give them the credit. And you have to give Moyes credit too. Bless up, Sean. What go on? Getting prepared for Canada. All right, Sean. Yeah, man, I'll be checking in with the Suriname info and news because I know there's a few players to just get it right where it needs to be, you know? Where's what do I call it now? El Sakico. Yeah, so this was the teams for the day. You know, usual starting lineup for Tottenham at this point. You know, he seemed to have settled on this midfield trio, you know, highlighting both Madison and Kulusevski, and then playing them with one other midfielder, whether it's Bissouma or Bentancur so far. Haven't really seen him put Sarr with the other two, but it's either been Bentancur or Bissouma. And it's, you know, look, I don't think it's the safest way to play, to be honest. I do think it lacks a little bit of balance in terms of the defensive side, but one thing is for sure, Kulusevski is going to put in the work. So, you know, I think he's the key to the system actually working because he's not sparing any kind of effort in terms of his gameplay, how much ground he's covering. So big ups to him actually for, you know, taking on to this role so well. And I think the more withdrawn role for him has kind of even opened up his game even more because, you know, sometimes when he's on the wing, it's like it becomes kind of repetitive from him. You know, either he takes them on or he drops it off. I think in the midfield, you know, he has more time to use his imagination. I think he's a very imaginative, creative player. So getting the ball in different spaces at different times, I think is more suiting to his game. And I think Brennan Johnson, on the other hand, he's a perfect type of player to just play that wing position. Get the ball, go past your guy across, run inside, try to run in behind, get on the end of a pass, finish. You know, it's kind of simplified. I think Kulusevski, he's a little more cerebral. So I think him being in midfield make more sense personally. And yeah, for once I thought the Spurs defense was pretty good on this day. I mean, yes, it was West Ham. They were kind of toothless, but you know, they were pretty solid. Didn't really make any mistakes or anything so much in this one. Yeah, so decent display from Tottenham. I think their fans would be happy with the output, the 4-1. You know, I think West Ham, a lot to work on for them. I think they're not really in a good patch right now. I think it's going to be real tough for them to break out of this little spell they're in. But this was the overall stats, 57% possession to Tottenham. The expected goals, they were almost at 2 to West Ham, just under 1. Both teams only had 2 big chances in the game. So, for all that dominance that I thought Tottenham had in terms of just overall gameplay, they didn't really turn it into any big chances or a lot more big chances than the other team. They did outshoot them by twice as much, 22 to 11. They had a lot more corners on the day as well, attempted over 100 more passes. West Ham also 3 yellow cards and a red. That didn't help. Of course, that red card came late in the game, so can't really attribute the score to that. Kudus with a madness kind of just started punching down people. I was very surprised actually that the ref didn't give him a red from the beginning, but I think it ended up being an accumulation because I don't think either blow was that severe, but hands to the face pretty much, unless it's like a shove, this was more of a slap. It wasn't a punch, but he did it to like 2 different players, so I don't know how he was expecting to get away with that. 7 shots to 4 on target, so not that wide of a margin on the on target shots. Spurs did hit the woodwork once. Let's see the entries. Big chances missed. So Spurs scored 4 and missed both the big chances. So could have been more on the day for Spurs, of course. And, they split 1 big chance converted by Kudus and a big chance missed. And then touches in the area, about double for Tottenham. And then final third entries, 58 to 34, so a good margin. 34 is pretty low for entire match as well, so that just gives you an idea of the territorial dominance as well. Accurate passes, throw-ins, final third phase, you see a lot more attempted passes in the final third. As you can see, Spurs comfortable in possession, playing out of their own third. Only 28 long passes attempted all game. That's a super low number for a whole game. Of course, a little more than double on the side of West Ham, 63, 59%. Crosses 28 for Spurs, only 12 attempted for West Ham. Both pretty good accuracy, actually, 25% to, I would say 25 to 40 or so is decent for crosses. Both teams in that realm. Duels pretty even and everything, defending, tackles, all that good stuff. So, but this is a stat here, and this is something that I think if you look at West Ham's game this season, they have been one of the worst teams in this goals prevented stat. So it's kind of like the opposite of expected goals, basically like, and this is the explanation. Measures the goalkeeper's effectiveness in preventing goals. It's calculated by comparing the actual number of goals conceded to the expected number based on the quality of shots faced. A negative score indicates the goalkeeper has conceded more goals than expected. So, as you can see, negative 3.24. So that's not very good stat at all. I mean, if it's going to be negative, usually you want it under 1. And of course, if it's positive, then your goalkeeper had a really good day. So that's a stat that I don't really highlight much, but I always look at it. I just noticed that I never really say anything about it, but it's a very interesting stat if you don't know what that is. That's goals prevented. Decent little metric to look at there. So that's pretty much the game in the statistics and my little breakdown of what happened. I think Tottenham, I think it's a bit a case of Tottenham just having a really good day at the office, a really good spell of play at the office as well, if you really want to call it that. And I think it also is in tandem with that, it's just a West Ham team that really is searching for answers that I don't think they have at the minute. So, don't get too over the moon here, you 5 Spurs fans out there. It was just West Ham, and it's a time that West Ham is really not at their peak. So, I don't think you should get too, it's not like you shouldn't be encouraged, but, temper those expectations. There's always next week, all right? So, expressions and your 2 friends, just chill. Just chill. Reality hits you fast, all right? But, in context, this performance, good performance from Spurs. You have to give them the credit. He made a sub at halftime that people were very surprised by, actually, and I want to touch on this. He took off Maddison and brought on Pat Matessar. And one thing I want to look at is the breakdown of stats from first to second half. So you see, in the first half, I wanted to look at the shots. So they had 5 shots. Second half, they had 6. So pretty even. So not much change there in the defensive statistics. It was pretty even for both halves. So I wanted to see if there was any major effect to that substitution. I think one thing it did do, though, just from the eye test, yes, they lost the creativity of Maddison, but I think in a way the game kind of needed another midfielder that's willing to just give the ball to the front three. Sometimes Maddison and Kulusevski, because they both want to create, they end up taking extra touches, and maybe the forwards receive the ball too late. Son sometimes just needs to get the ball early so he can be the creator. And I think Matessar is more willing to just pass along the ball as opposed to a Maddison who, knows, okay, I can make any kind of pass to just create a chance. And sometimes in that midfield role, it's just a transition role. You just need to get the ball and keep it moving. But I don't believe that that's Maddison's strength. And with good reason, he's quality, so he can make that final pass and create himself. But I think at times when he's in that midfield role, he just needs to move the ball wide quickly so that Son can run at his player or create from wide, So I think that change helped Tottenham in that regard. Sarr just got the ball, recycled it quickly, gave it to the danger people, and then they were going. So, I think some fans might have been scratching their heads about that one, but it actually did work out for Ange in the end. And he got that spell of goals right there, which allowed him to take Son off, and I'm sure he was happy about that, not having to play him the whole 90 minutes. So, all in all, a good day at the office for Spurs, and they got the 4-1 result over a hapless West Ham, Prepared for the rude Canadians. Hey, cuz, what's up? What's up, mama? Remember we going for revenge? They knocked us out last. Yeah. So it's a grudge match time. Where some fans got the Europe trophy and trying to put their hands where they can't reach it, in my opinion, and not complaining. They say them need for humble themselves. Johnson's a good player. Yeah, he was getting a lot of hate early in the season, but him shut up everybody, brother. Score what? Seven games in a row him score. I mean, I know, you can do foolishness all game and score, but at the end of the day, if you score, that's the hardest thing to do. Yeah, I watch some Jamaica Premier League. I was watching Monday Night Football, but put on the JPL, yeah. Still 1-0 to Waterhouse. Canada cruising, really? Yo, Sean, don't make Sean here. You say that, Surinamese in the building, Must say, Kudus wants Arsenal so badly, he's scoring and red carding to fit in. Also heard they saying that Van de Ven is quick. I saw Antonio roll him one time in the game. Yeah, no, he's very quick, bro. He's like the fastest player speed-wise. But one thing you have to remember, if you get too tight to Antonio and him spin you have to get around the, So that will neutralize any kind of speed with them have. How many goals Son scored? He had 1 goal, and the other one was listed as a 1 goal, I believe. Or how much him have like for the season. I don't know what you mean. But know them say in a fantasy, them take away him assists, Crystal Palace and Wolves manager. All right, so to be honest, you see Crystal Palace manager now, me don't feel like them all get rid of him, because when him did have a team where they kind of ready for the league, him do him thing. Last season when him forward, him get them out of the problems and move them way up in the table, and and then right before the season start, now him lose Olise. him not really get a chance to really like replace the brother there, to be honest. So I feel like that's gonna save him. And then if them sack Gary O'Neill, I think it would be harsh because him team actually play good. And the man them just had some bad things reach them this season, I swear. Like out of all the team them were down there, to me, them least deserve for they down there. And I know that's no consolation because the points are the points, but I don't know. I wouldn't sack neither one of them two manager, personally. Suriname goalkeeper at Harbour View. I wonder if he might keep today. Yeah, man, Antonio. That's not Antonio. Cause Antonio not slow, but he ain't the fastest. But you see how him get you is like before you can start, him done tired you out and him sprint left you. And then you're behind. What you gonna do? How you get around him? So you're dead. So must have games in El Saco rankings right. So all right, so that is Spurs and West Ham. So Spurs with the victory. And when we finish, people, I will obviously pull up the league table so we can look at that again. But for now, so I'll go through all the results, them talk about the game them a little bit. All right. So the next one would have been Fulham and Aston Villa, people. So again, both teams getting red cards in this one. So it just continued on this day. This game full of incident, to be honest. Early goals by both teams. Rogers equalizing 4 minutes after Jimenez gave them the lead. A really crazy conceded goal, to be honest. The high line of Villa that we've gotten used to now under Emery breached. Leno going straight down the middle of the pitch with a long pass, and it was badly misplayed. Was it Diego Carlos? No, it was Pau Torres actually. I think Carlos would have been more equipped to deal with that, but it was Torres isolated with Jimenez, and Jimenez just used all his experience to get him off balance, and a good, clean, half-volley left foot finish that the goalkeeper couldn't get to. So that made it 1-0. But of course, really quickly after that, Morgan Rogers, heavy deflection on the goal, but good build-up play to get into that position to equalize. And then, of course, there was a penalty awarded for Fulham. Andres Pereira with a weak attempt, saved by Emi Martinez in goal. And, as you can see in the 33rd minute, our baller, Leon Bailey, got a yellow card. I think he was upset with the assistant referee. And it was actually weird because on that play, he kind of like really and truly just tripped over his feet. But wanted a call and everything, and cause now he got fouled a little before that, and I know that's where the frustration was from. But very needless yellow card there for him. But he got it in the 33rd minute. Then Ollie Watkins got his goal. Tielemans again. Tielemans really and truly have to get some credit for Villa start this season. I think he's really, bossing that midfield for them in all aspects. Actually, very very good defensively as well. So have to give Tielemans some credit. Definitely picked up his game, I think, this season. Bailey was out in the 61st. Seems to be the default move now lately for Bailey if he does start, around the 60, 55, 65 area. He's coming off the pitch. Nothing really changed there. And of course, when we look at the lineups and thing, we're going to look at Bailey's performance in detail. Don't know what just happened a while ago. Get back to where we were. All right, cool. Yeah. Then Anderson got a last man foul, so he'll only get the 1 game suspension. I did just realize this, people. And when it's a professional foul last man, they've changed the suspension from 3 games to 1. So Anderson will only be out for the 1 game. And this kind of red card was a theme this weekend, and we'll have a few other incidents to talk about in a minute. Smith Rowe got a yellow. Let's see. Then Diop came on after the red card to Anderson to make to get another central defender on the pitch. And 1 minute later, he had a defensive action. look wasn't really warmed up enough to deal with it, and he ended up deflecting that into his own goal. So that was a tough start to the game for him. And then Philogene ended up getting a bizarre, 2 yellows in about 4 or 5 minutes for his red card. So, not the best outing for him on the day with those 2 yellows. But in the end, a good win away from home. Craven Cottage has been a tough place for teams to go and get results so far this season, but Aston Villa, wouldn't say making light work of them, but definitely good value for their victory. Fulham did play some good stuff in this game, to be honest. It was quite even for long stretches after that equalizer. But in the end, a little too much quality up in the attacking third for Aston Villa. And I think, it was always going to be tough for them to get back into the game with 10 men after Watkins got the second, and then that quick own goal after the red card as well didn't help matters. So, good result for Villa. Keeps them in touching distance of the top teams. Looking good for another run for that top 4. I think with them, the key is just going to be fitness. Players, not succumbing to injuries too much. Because even though they have added pieces, I do think that, their best pieces are a little better than the ones that are in reserve. So, the likes of Boubacar Kamara, who was on the bench, he'll be a great addition to the team right now. So that way, Onana out, Tielemans out, they have somebody good. It's not that big of a drop-off as it might have been when Kamara wasn't around. So, if they can just get their team healthy or keep them healthy, I think they have enough to at least within striking distance. And then when you look at, so many teams want one striker, they have 2 that have proven to be deadly in front of goal. So I think that's always going to keep them in good stead as well. And they have a good manager too. So a lot of things going for Villa that should keep them around that top 4 chase. So we'll see how that plays out. But this is the full stats, 52-48. So very close in statistics. As you can see, the expected goals very close as well. So, the 3-1 maybe a bit wider of a margin than you would have thought based on the gameplay. But like I said, a bit cruel, especially for that third one. Bit harsh for him to have to deal with such a ball so quick after coming on. You just could tell he didn't quite have his feet under him just yet. 4 big chances to only 2 on this day. So the winners had 2 less big chances, took 4 more shots, had more corners. Passes almost pretty even for attempts. Both teams had a red card, 5 yellows, 3 yellows. So a lot of cards being issued in this one. Shots on target 5-4 in favor of Villa. So even though they took more shots, so Villa had the more shots on the day, but not the best chances on the day, or not more big chances on the day. Let's see, the entries should be pretty even as well. Big chances. So they missed all 4 big chances and they missed 2 of their big chances. So there were 6 big chances created in the game and neither team scored one. That's crazy. Pass is pretty even, just 16 more for Fulham. Completed entries. I knew it. I knew this would be a close entry game, 48-47. So both teams getting into the final third phase pretty at about the same rate. You see the difference in philosophy of the 2 teams. Fulham going direct a lot more often than Aston Villa, who played about 20 less long passes on the day. Crosses 7 for 30, not bad, 23%, and 3 of 19 for Villa for 16%. So let's see the goal prevented. So as you can see again, with the expected goals being so close, the only way you get a wider margin is if the goals prevented stat is in the negative. So negative 1.82 as opposed to Emmy, in the positive on his day. So, the goalkeepers sometimes can be all the difference. As Reggae Boys fans should know, Andre Blake, Captain Heroic, doing it for us on so many occasions. All right, so let's take a look at the individual numbers so we can take in Leon's performance. So 6.3 on the day for Leon. 61 minutes, as I said before. Subbed off for Jaden Philogene. In the game, in that 61 minutes, he had very low expected goals and assists, so not really getting it in any kind of dangerous area to impact the game too much. 38 touches, he was very accurate, good retention on the day. And this is actually a stat that this season, with him not being as explosive, you can see the difference. I think when his passing accuracy is low, he probably was doing more in the game because he was trying things a bit more, but I don't think right now he has the confidence to do that. So he's become, almost like a decoy player on the wing, like just staying wide, making sure he occupies a defender, not really looking to take them on so much, but just keep play ticking, go back to Matty Cash, go inside to the midfielder and just keep playing. One key pass on the day, that's good. 0 of 3, so 3 attempted crosses, didn't connect any. 1 of 1 on the long pass. Had 1 shot blocked on the day. 1 of 3 on his dribble. So I think last game he may have had like 2 attempts, this time 3. So, he's sometimes in those 5, 6, 7 numbers for dribbles. So when you see him getting back to those numbers, then I think he's like, fully 100. This is another thing that I think is telling. Like, he's not the highest duel winner in the world, but 1 of 8. I think the last game it was like 1 of maybe 7. And then the game before it was even less duels he was going in. So I think, that's something that shows me something as well. He's just not really having that force in the challenge to win that ball. 0 for 1 for the aerials that he tried, wasn't successful there. Lost the ball 17 times in his 38 touches. So, even though the passing percentages were good, a lot of these last touches were probably controls and then not the cleanest control. So he goes into a duel and then, so high possession loss on the day, not the best. 2 clearances though and 1 interception. So that's always good to see any kind of defensive stats for Leon. And he was dribble past 1 time on the day. So 6.3, not the highest for Leon, but I still don't think he's 100 people. Hopefully, Villa can just give him a rest, to be honest. Like he got the international break to kind of get his fitness and his feet back under him. Don't think it was enough time just based on how he was looking in this game. Robinson didn't have the best stats, but I don't remember a time when he really was beaten by Leon. Maybe I'm forgetting a time, but yeah, maybe that one time was against Leon and I'm just not remembering. But he had 1 successful dribble, so I guess it was against Anthony Robinson, but clearly it never amounted to much. But yeah, this game right here, people, I don't think it was really a true 3-1. I think Fulham was a little bit more in the game, but in the end, they couldn't really sustain it enough. And I think, the quality in the final third of Villa just kind of shined over them a little bit in this one. So yeah, Villa with another win, as I said, keeping in striking distance with the European Champions League contenders and whatnot. So big win for them. Hopefully Leon can get his feet squarely on the ground moving forward, because it don't look the best, to be honest. Okay, said teams are paid tribute to Arsenal with the red card them. Yo, must have throw him what them pan Suriname, and I keep telling him, just do like Holland say, be humble. I say when you did go on last year, must after the beat in Jamaica, it's like people must celebrate, and I say it's gonna be a celebration at BMO Field. You don't need to start. Well, no, I'm not giving you ideas. If I ever said that, maybe not actually do it. But yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing last year, so no better easy. Last year, I swear, I beat you after the first leg too. And then slap on the way over BMO. All right, so this was Manchester United versus Brentford. And of course, big bad Ethan Pinnock got the goal for Brentford in injury time or stoppage time of the first half. Then 2 second half goals from United flipped the game in their favor. And in the end, they held on for a 2-1 win. And I shouldn't even say held on. They really did control the second half for the most part. So I have to give them their credit. I cannot act like they never controlled that second half. But yeah, in this one, 2-1 goals from Pinnock, as I said before. Garnacho and Rasmus Højlund getting the winner on this occasion. Good goal as well. Neat finish from him. Garnacho, good goal as well. Two good goals from United. Good plays, good build-up, good finishes. And then Ethan Pinnock, of course, again, scoring off of the set piece. Damsgaard proving to be a very good dead ball set piece taker. Very much in the vein of, he has been touted kind of as the new Ericsson for Denmark. So, yeah, definitely in that same vein in terms of the quality on the dead ball or the set piece. Let's look at the stats in this one. Of course, Ten Hag bought himself some more time, so we're thankful for the United players for that. Expected goals, United had a slight edge, kind of similar to the game being 2-1, 1.33 to 0.86 on the day. 3 big chances created to 2. Man U in favor, 23 shots to 8, so a big discrepancy there. Flecken was forced to make 9 saves on the day, only 1 save made by Onana. 9 corners to 2. Passes attempted very, very similar, 488 to 484. The possession was dead even as well. Let's see, tackles, 10 more for United. 2 yellows apiece. So one of the rare games with no red card here. No tribute to Arsenal. 23 shots, 11 on target for United. 8 shots, 2 on target for Brentford. So didn't really have as much drive or forward drive with the possession as did United, with the as evidenced by the difference in shots there. Let's see. So United scored 2 of theirs, only 1 of the 2 scored. That was a difference in the game as far as the big chances. United had about 20 more touches in the penalty area, and the final third entries pretty close, 65 to United, 54 to Brentford. But Brentford in the end, as I said, just didn't quite have that connectivity in attack. I thought this is like one of the few times, well, not the few times, but they really did need another player up there. The likes of Wissa came on. You could see he's not quite fully up to his level right this second, but even just a couple of the different touches and runs he was making, you could see it open up a bit differently when he got on. So I think Brentford will be okay once he does get back in tandem with Brian and Mbeumo. Shade thought he would take this opportunity with both hands, but if I'm being honest, he hasn't really done his thing. 6.1 this week, and I really thought he had a chance to break out without Wissa being around, but just kind of hasn't really panned out that way. Ethan Pinnock only upstaged for his team by his goalkeeper, who had, as I said, 9 saves, 8.8 on the day. Can't really go around his performance. Casemiro, the one they love to hit, coming back with a good performance before having to leave the pitch. Man United fans, I'm sure, hoping that that's nothing serious, because I think that was one of his better performances of late for sure. Garnacho had a good day as well. Rashford didn't score or assist, but I thought he played decent in this one. Bruno did his thing as well, creating. So yeah, good performance from United. Johnny Evans couldn't last the entire game. He had to leave as well, but played almost the entire game, to be honest. Xerxes was poor when he came on, so yeah, I'm not really sure about that one. Holland looking like definitely the man who should play at this current moment. So let's see if the coach sticks with that. Ten Hag is madman, so you never know. Next week is Xerxes again. But yeah, Mazraoui didn't start. I know he was kind of thinking that maybe he had an issue. So I'm not sure if that was just the coach wanting to change up something, or just kind of to keep him fresh, because knowing that they have a couple more games this week. But yeah, Johnny Evans, to be fair to him, had a decent game. Delict and Lissandra as well. Onana did his thing. So yeah, it was a decent performance, I thought, from United. If you look at the game itself, Brentford, I thought, probably slightly edged the play in the first half, but not even. I think it was almost even in the second half. You could see that United definitely, I would say it was more like 75-25 second half in favor of United in terms of the gameplay and everything. So, yeah, good performance, you have to say, from United. Getting the 3 points. Brentford, as you know, not an easy team to play. So you have to give them their credit for pulling out the result with no issues. We all know Canada not winning the trophy. Every time Pinnock score, Brentford lose. No, look like a planned thing. That's true though. I think the last couple times him score, maybe even 3 times him score, then lose the game. All right, next game, people. Newcastle and that team that just keeps on getting results this season, Brighton. As you can see, it was 1-0 Danny Welbeck. Probably in the best form of his career, if you really check it, if you really deep it, the man is playing some wicked football right now, Danny Welbeck. Pretty much creating chances, scoring chances now quite frequently. He had the lone goal in this 1-0. Boy, I'm telling you, these picks for me this week are horrible, man. A lot of things I didn't expect to happen. I did not think that they would go to St. James's Park and keep a clean sheet and actually win this game. I didn't see that coming. Welbeck did get the goal. Brilliant 1-2 with Georgina Ruta, who is kind of proving at this point, like, it don't matter who Welbeck play with, them just can play with him, because he play good with João Pedro. I see him play good with Evan Ferguson. I see him play good with this Ruta brother. So this all along, I say Pedro was the key, but is it really Welbeck? I don't know. But yeah, very good goal, well taken, good 1-2, as I said. I think from that point on, Newcastle really and truly probably should have got the result. But I have to say that for me, the best player on the park in this one was the goalkeeper for Brighton, Verbruggen. Yeah, I didn't even look at these stats yet, but yeah, 8.9 player of the match. This man makes some rotted save, and it's been due for him, because he's had some poor games for Brighton and some poor games for the Netherlands since this season start. But this is more like the form that he showed pretty much all of last season, and had a good Euro as well as the starting goalkeeper. So Verbruggen, good to see him settling down and playing well. As a Dutch national fan, I like to see that. But yeah, definitely a good performance from him. I thought he definitely was the match winner, obviously, along with Welbeck. The one scare for Brighton was Danny Welbeck. It's been maybe a part of the reason why this might be his best stretch ever. It's the longest I can remember him not being injured or having an injury, or not a major one at least. And he was forced to come off in the 81st. So hopefully nothing major for Danny. I have Danny in a few of my draft leagues, and I'm strongly contemplating picking him up in actual fantasy FPL, the budget league thing. So yeah, I might actually pick him up. Not sure yet. But yeah, Newcastle Brighton was a hell of a match, I thought. Very entertaining. As I said, Verbruggen, I think, was the man of the match. You see, both teams created 4 big chances. So, as I said, 1-0 don't always tell the story. This could have easily been a much higher scoring game. Newcastle had the edge in shots, which is to be expected at home. Had the edge in corners. Had about 170 more pass attempts. When you talk about shots on target, though, much closer, 6-5. Let's see, entries, touches in the penalty area, a lot to a little. So all 4 big chances missed. 3 of the Brighton 4 missed as well. Entries 69-41. So Newcastle did win that battle as well. As I said, they had the ball a lot more, so I guess that makes sense. Long passes 46 and 59. So definitely Brighton, even though they're a team that like to knock the ball around, and a day like today in St. James Park with Newcastle pressing you, go long. Why take the risk, As you can see, Brighton was quite happy, keeping possession in those wide areas, not really crossing, as opposed to Newcastle, who threw in about 15 more on the day. And then let's check the goals. Okay, so goals, both keepers actually did a good job in this one. Of course, the slight edge to the winner, Varbruggen. But 0.91, very good goals prevented stat. Look at all the clearances to the only 6. That's crazy. So yeah, a lot of the game played in the final third or the defensive third of Brighton, but Brighton was very, very dangerous when they were in position and going forward. 4 big chances created. Nothing to that's not something to just look down on, you know what I'm saying? 3 of those big chances coming in the second half as well. So yeah, it's was a great result actually for Brighton, I thought. Very, very difficult to beat this team at St. James Park, but they got the job done, and you have to give them their credit. So Brighton staying within touching distance as well with the 1-0 win. Another one that I did not predict this weekend. That's a theme. All right. Leicester and Southampton, people. So this was one that some fans thought maybe Southampton can get their first 3 points this time, but it was not meant to be. Nigel Garden up, up, up. Big up yourself, bro. Thanks for joining. Wasn't meant to be for them. Leicester, turning on the style. 3 goals from the 64th minute deep into injury time. AU getting a winner then. But yeah, it was cruel loss for Southampton. Started the game really, really well. Archer scoring early in this one. Also missed a chance before that as well. Could have had 2 in the first 10 minutes. And Aribo getting the second after some good play. Good cutback for him to finish. And then, of course, Bonanate, who has been on fire lately, honestly, got the first goal. Then Vardy converted a pen. And, of course, Jordan Ayew, got the late goal. So, very, very good result for them. Leicester City, doing a decent job, trying to get that separation from where folks probably think they'll end up ultimately or close to it, is that relegation. But they're doing a good job picking up 3 points when they can. This is the stats of the game. Leicester, had the expected goal advantage. So both teams giving up quite a few chances and opportunities. 4 big chances to 3 in favor of Leicester on the day. Had 4 more shots total. But Leicester's keeper did make 5 more saves. Have to start putting some credit on Herman's name. Ever since I've seen him play the Arsenal team in that game, I'm like, damn, this keeper is good, And he keeps having these performances week to week. So we have to start to really put him in the best in the league conversation. But at least a respected keeper in the league, Hermanson from Leicester City. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't stay up if he's not like getting another club in the Prem after. 10 corners for Southampton to 6. Okay. Leicester tried 150 more, 140 more passes, 130 odd more passes. Tackles, slight edge to Leicester. 5 yellows to 3. And of course, the red card in this one as well. So, yeah. And it was Ryan Fraser with a foul on the last man. And that was basically the pen. And yeah, that was, I think it was like him holding somebody from taking a rebound shot. I think it might have been Vardy who drew the penalty, actually. But yeah, he was gone, so that made it tougher. But it held firm, honestly, till, right there, the 98th minute, or, tough. Jordan Ayew popping up with a big goal to give them all 3 points there. Bless up Chris Smith, go on. We're outside, bro. I do an EPL review show always depend. Yeah. We try to keep the thing consistent. We got the 38 of them, Yeah, but this is the stats on the game. 7-4 in favor of Southampton. So more shots on target actually for Southampton. Interesting. Let's see. Big chances scored. 2 apiece. 1 big one missed for Southampton. 2 of them for Leicester. Leicester had more touches in the penalty area. Final third entries, they had 20 more, 67-47. 130 something odd. 123 more accurate passes for Leicester. And it's full time at Jerusalem, Waterhouse 1, Harborview 0. All right, so that done. This one now. Final third phase E. A lot more final third passing for Leicester. Long passes. 39 attempted, 46. Okay. Good crossing accuracy. 30%, not bad at all. 5 of 19, 26. Not terrible, but not the best. Let's see. Tackles, recoveries, clearances, goals prevented. So you see negative for negative for Southampton, or for Ramsdale, I should say, and over in the positive region for goals prevented for Hermanson. So goalkeeping again proving to be key in this next result, the 3-2. So getting some distance between them and the relegation zone did Leicester. All right, now it's another team, people, that I had, well, actually both these teams I have slated to go down this season, Ipswich and Everton. And Everton looks to have, listened to all the detractors and started to come up with some better performances. I think Dwight McNeil has been key to everything that's been going on. But I think also, just a little bit better concentration defensively. Michael Keane, I'm not the biggest fan of, but he did have a big goal in this game. Very good finish for the second one. And Iliman NDI, I think, got his, third goal of the season, maybe second. But yeah, a player that I really rate. Yeah, I like the player a lot, actually, NDI. So he came over from Ligue 1. I think he was at Marseille most recently. So good pickup, I thought, in the offseason, proving to be a good one in reality as well. So, 2-0, clean sheet for Everton. I just don't have the courage to get any Evertonian defenders on my team. So, didn't benefit at all from that. But, what can I say? Sean Dyche kept it tight, kept it solid. I think Ipswich were pretty much quiet until the end of the game. Last maybe 20 minutes or so. This is the stats of the proceedings. Everton slightly edging the expected goals. Ipswich edging the possession. 3 big chances to 2 in favor of Everton. Ipswich had 2 more shots. 6 saves for Ipswich keeper, only 2 to Pickford. Everton had a slight edge in corners. Passes about 80 more attempted by Ipswich. Accuracy on those passes. Let's see, accurate passes. Where are you? So 100 more accurate passes for Ipswich. Entries 58 to 46 in favor of Ipswich. Look at that. Touches in the penalty area, a little more for Everton. So look at that. 1 big chance scored, 2 missed. Both big chances missed for Ipswich. Not the best there. Let's see. And goals prevented. Both had 50 recoveries. I'm pretty sure. So both keepers in the positive, so decent. 0.26 for Ramsdale and 0.32 for Hermanson. So no, not Ramsdale. Sorry, for Muric, and 0.26 for Pickford. Sorry. Yeah, so that is the full-on stats for the teams in that fixture there. Everton versus Ipswich. And in the lineups, this is the stats on the game. Former Reggae Boy, current U21 England, Omari Hutchinson had a 6.3. Lasted the full 90. Doesn't really ever get the hook these days, to be honest. 57 touches, had 3 key passes in his performance. He did create 1 big chance as well. 2 shots blocked, 0 for 4 on dribbles, 1 for 7 ground duels. So it's kind of explaining how his score was so low with the 3 key passes and 1 big chance. And then what else? Yeah, no defensive actions on the day. was offside once and was fouled once. Last possession 22 times. So not the best retention, but still decent creativity. The duels and the duels pretty much brought him his score pretty far down on the possession loss. So a 6.3 for Omari. Dwight McNeil, on the other hand, has been cooking since day. Don't know if there's much truth to him being recruited by some other players to come over. But yeah, I wouldn't mind at this point. Dwight McNeil definitely on fire. Every game it seems like creating a goal, getting an assist, getting a goal himself. So just really, really and truly having a rich vein of form. And that's Dwight McNeil. You never know. Maybe Tuchel rate him, pick him, who knows. But let's see. Let's watch the space with that one. But Dwight McNeil definitely on form right now. So yeah, need to kind of see what I'm going with that at some point. But yeah, good result for Everton. I mean, definitely proving me wrong lately. Some decent results on the bounce there. So Everton again getting the away victory over Ipswich. Now, the final game of the Saturday, people. This was Arsenal and Everton, people. I mean, here in Everton, Bournemouth hosting Arsenal, people. So, where do I start with this damn game here? Big up, Jordan. What go on? Jason, bro, want to join my opposition preview on Thursday? Yo, just send me a DM on Instagram, Jordan, and we can work it out. Yeah, bro. All right, so yeah, let's look at the Arsenal game. We're gonna pull this one up, I get the full screen treatment, cause of the Gunners, All right, so first things first, we could just go through what going on in the game. So 2 goals were scored, 78th and 79th minute, one by Ryan Christie. Brilliant corner kick routine, to be honest. Set piece FC outdone by a set piece. Can't make this stuff up. And then, of course, comedy of errors for the second goal. Weak back pass from Kivior, who had subbed on after the red card. And then not much Raya could do once he was rounded by, I want to say it was Sinistera who got on the end of that one to cause the penalty, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it Cliver that got taken out? Let me see. Might have been Cliver, No. So which player was it? It wasn't Ryan Christie. Unal never did on the field yet. Was it Evan Nielsen? I think it was Evan Nielsen, Yeah, it was Evan Nielsen. All right, cool. Yeah, so Evan Nielsen earned the penalty. Rather luckily, I didn't think Ray even got booked for that, but yeah, it's okay. And then Clivert stepped up to finish the penalty. So 2-0 to them. First talking point, obviously, when I saw the lineup of Arsenal, I was a bit surprised. I mean, I knew that Martinelli was carrying an injury, so there was always first and foremost, I didn't think Saka was going to miss the game. I've heard this so many times before in the past that Saka carrying something, he wasn't 100, blah, blah, blah. Then the match day forward and Saka is on the field. So that was a surprise. Wasn't surprised that Sterling was the player in his place, because I figured that Trossard, actually, I didn't figure Trossard would be on the left. I thought Trossard would be, where Merino is on this graphic, and it would be Sterling on one wing and the other wing would be Jesus. So I wasn't expecting Trossard to be moved out of that central area where he had been playing since Odegaard has been out. And I never really envisioned a midfield with Arsenal with these 3 components. I always thought it would be 2 of those 3 in the midfield with someone else. So that was just kind of surprising to me. And for the game to choose to do this to be against Bournemouth, I thought was kind of strange. If anything, I would think he might play like a more attacking setup in midfield as opposed to playing, three very good dual winning players in the midfield. Now, Marino, I know can play more advanced. I've seen him play for Spain. But at the same time, he just almost looked like he never wanted to be that far advanced in the game. Like he wanted to play from deeper. And it just never really worked out in that space for him, I thought. I thought, very few on the Arsenal team can really hold their heads high on this performance. I think Marino, while maybe not giving me the creative impetus, he was a key to, holding down the other team for long stretches of the game. I do think he tired in the end. Once we were down to 10, you could tell, he wasn't able to really keep it going. I think Partey, though, might have even been worse off than him, but he stayed on the pitch. I thought Ben White was out on his feet for most of that second half. And of course, Saliba, with by far his worst performance so far this season, a 5.4 on the stats with that red card, which we're going to talk about right now, actually. So I did a poll earlier in the chat, and I'm going to end that poll now. All right, I'm going to start a new poll. So everybody say I'm going to get sacked. Let's start a new poll. Saliba red card. So we're just going to ask yes or no. Was it a red card for the Saliba play? Yes or no? I'm going to give my take right now. So, what's the best game of the weekend? The irony. True, they do have some dangerous players. I said that in the preview. Me future against Bournemouth, Arteta has lost his marbles. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. I mean, when I look at the bench as well, and I'm trying to make sense of it all, like, I don't know why the man won't free this kid. Like, this game was tailor-made for him to play. Away to Bournemouth, like, put the kid out there, bro. If you're not happy with Jesus right now, because clearly you're not. Because I thought Jesus was going to start. I was like, keep Trossard in this area, in the central area. Let him start the press with Havertz like they've been doing. Like, he kind of like figured out a way to play without Odegaard and then didn't play that way. It just didn't make sense. Didn't make sense. And hindsight is 2020. Because I wasn't really burning out the lineup per se when I saw it. But once the game started to develop, before the red card, like early in the game, you could see like something ain't right with how we're pressing. And it was down to just Marino not really picking it up, like how to really press with Havertz, and it just wasn't the same. But yeah, it's, when you look at the bench, I mean, how I just described it is how it could have been different, right? You don't start one of Partey or Marino, and you put Trossard in the middle, and you start Jesus out left, right? Then on the bench now, if he went with that, he would have one of Marino or Partey more than likely on the bench, plus all the other people. Martinelli, Waneri, Miles Kelly, Zinchenko, Georgie, all these players. So, who is really out? Odegaard out, Saka out, and Timber out. So those were the three that, really missed. And then Ben White played 90 minutes after he was doubtful. And Zinchenko never came off the bench. So, I mean, the pickings were a little bit slim, but I do think he could have done things a little differently as well, to be honest. But yeah, the Saliba red card now, people. So, if you watch the game, which I'm sure most of you did because it was the only game at the time, originally, well, first and foremost, Trossard plays a ridiculous back pass that has no business being played the way it is. I've seen Trossard do that foolishness before where, we kind of would not really in the best spot on the pitch in possession. He'll just rass it back to Raya. I've seen him do it a lot on the half volley, all kind of mad ways. And this one just never came off. It was miskicked, barely went anywhere, just went. It was basically like a through pass to Evan Nielsen. Now, at the time, Evan Nielsen is cheating because we're in possession. He doesn't care that he's a little offside on the other side of the half line. Since the pass back is from Trossard, he can't be offside. So it's a mad race to get to this ball now. And basically, after about 2 steps, a little hole on the shirt of Evan Nielsen, he goes down quickly. Foul, clear foul, can't argue the foul. Now, the interesting part is when the play happens, like basically, it's just him and Evan Nielsen, like in the middle of the pitch, almost just in between the center of the field and like the one side of the circle, just passed into Arsenal's defensive half of the field, right? Now Ben White is kind of playing in that right back role, kind of little bit tucked towards the sideline, but in line pretty much with the play. So it can be argued that he's a bit too far away to make up that ground. So I don't think that would have been the one saving grace for me to not give a red for this. If Ben White was a little bit closer. And there was another play in the Chelsea game that we're going to talk about that I think was why that one wasn't given as a red card, right? Now, the only thing I will say, right, and I want to find this tweet that I saw. Because sometimes at first I will see like a backlash for something on like Twitter or Instagram or whatever, and I'm saying, these people just are kind of mad. Like, why are they even going with this type of narrative like it was a red card, But then, you start to see these different posts, and it's like, whoa, so you mean to tell me that the EPL just put out a rule about the last man red card, and they have these bullet points as to why something wouldn't be a red card, right? So I'm gonna try to find this one tweet that I saw, because it was like, really, them just like 10 days ago put out this last man rule thing. Let me see if this is it. Yeah, the red card rule relaxed, right? But I want to hold on. Let me just find this real quick, people, and go on put in the go on take part in the poll so I can see what I think. Me think it's a red card, honestly. But I just want to find this thing, man. So many damn people talk about this thing. It's like, that is not enough. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, that's not. Bro, where is when the PGMOL send this damn thing? I'm gonna find it, people. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, because I remember when they took out the last man wording out of there and changed it to goal scoring denial of a goal scoring opportunity. Distance direction. Okay, this is I'm getting warmer now. That's not the exact one I want to show you. But I mean, I really want to give up, but it looks like I might have to, because it's a drag out the thing. But basically, I remember what it was saying was like, but yeah, I just found it interesting that 10 days ago, they sent out like a thing just reminding everybody about the red card rule in these situations. And one of the things was proximity or distance from the actual goal. So I don't know if, when I see it now on the replay where the fouls happen, actually, this is a good one here. So let me show this on screen real quick so you can see it. Hold on. Yeah, I don't think bless up Marlon King. What go on? All right, so these are the two incidents in question. So this was the incident from the Chelsea match. So you see where the foul occurs. You see how close I think that's Colwell is to Tosin there as he pulls down the player. And then this is the Arsenal one. So Ben White not even in picture here. The closest player to him would be Gabriel way up here. Ben White is, right of my cursor off the screen. And that's him. Obviously, Raya is not out of the pitch. One thing that I thought was interesting, though, like, where's the ball in all of this? Like, the ball is not even in picture. That's one thing. So, how much control does he have over the ball? And then the second thing is, I guess that difference of about what, 8 yards from the half line to where this foul took place is enough of a distance for it to be different. Or maybe because it was this far after the half line, that criteria was already met. And the next criteria of like proximity of other players, as you can see by this picture, it wasn't met. So again, I think it's a red card. I'm just showing you, for context, the two different situations. Again, I'm trying to figure out where is the ball in this instance. But yeah, that's kind of a little like what I want to show you, but that wasn't exactly it. But that did it. That did something, so that's good. Chile said Arsenal has really put the red in London this season. I tell you, gigs like that one day. Never mind, free the kid. More like free Zinchenko. Don't. I think Bournemouth didn't give. Well, I think actually Zenit like wasn't I mean, he was on the bench, but it was more emergency. I don't think he's quite there yet. Beta one juice. All right, I think Bournemouth didn't give Arsenal a chance to play Arsenal game, in my opinion. Well, I don't think Arsenal set up to play Arsenal game. That's the problem. It was kind of unbalanced in the midfield for me. Trossard with a brilliant assist, to be honest. Bro wants to be like KDB. He has the potential. Ben White would need to turn into Ben Flash. Yeah, no, he wouldn't get that damn ball. Yo, I couldn't see it, brother. I didn't see no ball in the air. Where it was, like, in the air where the Arsenal Bournemouth 0-0 graphic is with the time. Because, I mean, where is it? Unless it's like the exact color of someone in the crowd and it blending in. Oh, okay, no, I do see it. I see it now. It's like in line with, I guess that's Arsenal's bench. Yeah, I do see it actually. Damn. It kind of look like one of the people over their foot, but it's a ball. That's crazy. She was blending in perfect. Will Red Card FC, Set Piece FC, whatever the name these just don't lose versus Liverpool. Yeah, it's gonna be tough, man. That preview show, boy. I forgot to tell the God honest truth that day there. But to be honest, and we'll talk about this soon, because we're going to talk about the Liverpool game too, but I don't know, man. Liverpool getting the results, but I wouldn't say it's like convincing at this point. I wouldn't even say any team in the league is so convincing right now. It's like very open to me. A lot of teams playing well against teams that are supposed to be better than them and these things. So I don't know. There's not so much domination this year so far. But yeah, this is basically the game. Let's look at the overall statistics of the game though, because we hadn't done that yet. I've just been talking about some of the incidents in the game. But the stats were pretty even, 51-49. Quite funny actually, considering that Arsenal played 60 minutes of the game with 10 men, but the position was so close. Expected goals definitely won by Bournemouth, so they deserved their win, to be honest, in terms of chances and things of that nature. 3 big chances to 2 big chances, so still created a couple big chances on the day. Did Arsenal? They had 7 more shots than us. Raya only made 2 saves to the 1, and then actually they had more corners than us, 7-4. We still attempted 20 odd more, about 25 more passes than them. Tackles about even, free kicks about even, 1 yellow apiece, and of course the red card to Arsenal. Then we had shots on target, just 4 on target from Bournemouth, only 1 on target from Arsenal in the whole 90 minutes. So terrible. Then we had shots inside the box, outside the box. Okay. Big chances missed, 2 for Arsenal, none scored. 1 big chance scored for Bournemouth, and then they missed 2 others. Touches in the area, both teams under 30, so not very many for either team. Falling final third, offsides. Okay. Accurate passes, 25 more going Arsenal's way. Final third entries, 17 more for Bournemouth, 66-49. They had 25 more attempted passes in the final third, and about 26 more actually completed in the final third, did Bournemouth. So good job there. Long passes about even, 49-42, and crosses 15 for us, 4 of 15, 3 for 25. So better percentage for Arsenal, but much more volume of crosses for Bournemouth. Ground duels, aerial duels, they kind of did better on the ground. We were better in the air. Of course, we have a basketball team now, so that's to be expected. And then dribbles, look at those dribbles. They really took advantage of just 1v1 situations. Very high dribble percentage against their 17 for 28. Us over 50 is very good as well, but they were even better with more attempts. So that shows something there. And then recoveries pretty even. Clearances, we had a few more than them. But look at the errors leading to shots, something that Arsenal has really held down, I would say, in the last couple of seasons. Not the best today. Errors leading to shots, a total of 3. And you see the goals prevented in the positive for the Bournemouth custodian. And then, of course, minus 0.35 for us. So Kepa, 0.32, minus 0.35 for Raya. So not very good. But yeah, that's how this one ended. People drop points for Arsenal. All the other title contenders rejoice. So, the 2 City fans out there, the legions of the Liverpool fans, are very, very happy with this result. And the memes were flowing to my phone at about, 2:30 or so, where I live. It was non-stop, people, for about, I don't know, a couple of hours, just different memes and things coming through various chats I'm in, and personal messages to my phone. Yeah, it was rough. I think I've learned though how to deal with these type of things now. A lot better than one time. I think before I would respond quite emotionally to most of these things, but believe I am getting a bit smarter with age. So I think I handle these things a lot better these days. But I mean, it was ultra defensive. It was I think, I don't know. But this game, brother, this game really pissed me off, Martin, because I don't really feel like, I think Arteta was just so worried about like certain players missing that he kind of overdid the solid lineup. There was no need to play the Partey, Rice, and Marino. It was overkill. It was time to play the kid. If you don't play the kid, start Jesus on one of the wings with Sterling, and you play Trossard through the middle like you've been playing. You don't upset that part of the team. Havertz and Trossard were having a decent relationship with each other in terms of the press. That's something that we definitely lost since Odegaard left, but I think it has looked the most like when Odegaard is there, when Trossard and Havertz have been doing it. So I just didn't see the need to change that. I didn't like that at all. Was it a case where he just wanted Marino to get a start? So he went ahead and started him. He thought Bournemouth would be the best place to do something like that. But, I wouldn't. It just, to me, it was overkill. You could have easily, rested Partey for the Champions League game, started Marino, or vice versa. Don't start Marino because he will start in the Champions League game. So I don't know, because now going into the Champions League game, I am of the mind that he's gonna try to do this again because we're away to we're at home to Shakhtar. So yeah, he probably won't this time, to be honest. Probably won't. But yeah, it's got to be 2 out of 3. It can't be all 3 of them. It don't make sense. Don't make sense to me. Not enough creativity, not enough drive. Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love these 3 right here together. 2 out of 3 is what we need, and we need to add an attacking creative player to whatever 2 you pick out of those 3. Right? That's the way to go forward. Sterling, I was a bit surprised when Saliba got a red card that he was the one pulled off. I thought it could have been just reformatted so easily. Like they could have just gone to a straight back 3. Ben White covering that right side, Calafiori covering that left side, and Gabriel in the middle. That would have been the most ideal thing to do. You keep the rest of the team shape pretty much the same. Obviously, at that point, you tell either Partey or Sterling that their responsibility is a lot more defensive right now. For argument's sake, all I would really do is slide, kind of put Declan in the center, put Partey right, and put Marino left, and you play some kind of like 3-5-1 basically with Trossard and Sterling wide. And then you have those 3 midfielders in front of your 3 defenders. Could have easily gone to a system like that, but hey, what do I know? I'm just the YouTube coach. But yeah, I was surprised because he took off his most pacey threat on the counter down to 10 men, knowing that we're going to be sitting deeper. We're going to need at least one player to cover that ground quickly. Took him off, so now it was just Trossard and Havertz, not slow players, but not nearly as fast as Sterling, and not really putting that threat in the mind of the defenders to maybe have them sit a bit deeper so you can get a little more space to build and move the team forward. So yeah, I just think it was a bit of a panic to just take Sterling off right away. I think a part of it was like, okay, Raheem's the newest guy in the team that's up there in the forward line, so let me take him out. But I think his skill set actually fits better with 10 men. So I just didn't understand that change there. And then, Kivior coming on, again, he could have easily brought on, if he wanted that same, lineup per se, why not bring on Jorginho and put Partey at right back where you played him last week, and slide Ben White to centre back where he can play too. And then you keep your same 4 shape you wanted, and you don't upset the attacking area. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, hindsight is 2020. But look on all them solutions that we just give, when we think would have worked better than we do. So I think he probably won't admit it, but looking back, he probably regrets taking Sterling off in the 37th minute, honestly. But like he said, at 0-0, Gabriel Martinelli, who was kept in reserve until the 64th due to him having, some niggling injuries going on with his time in Brazil, he had the big chance at 0-0 to get the goal, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. And he had the whole near post to shoot for, decides to go to the other post. Kepa kind of read what he was going to do and was able to save it. So, we'll go up 1-0, who knows? You never know how the rest of the game pan out after that. So, I was kind of also shocked that it wasn't until they scored the penalty. We're down 1-0. It wasn't until he scored the penalty that he decided to bring on Jesus as well. So, I don't know, just all in all, a bit, very reactionary from the coach. Definitely one that I think he should take a little bit of the credit, or the blame, I should say, not credit. And some of it has to fall on the players as well, because I do think man for man, they just didn't perform well enough, to be honest. Regardless of how I think Arteta could have done things differently, the guys have to play better. And, they just didn't play well enough. And kudos to Bournemouth. They had a lot of good performances. I thought Cook was immense in midfield. I thought Evan Nilsson led the line well. Semenyo had a low score, but I thought he was a threat. Otara, decent while he was in. But I think it was really this double sub here that kind of really got them going. When Clivert, actually triple sub, when Clivert, Sinister, and Christie came on, gave them that fresh legs. As soon as they came on, it was immediate, like the impact and just them changing the tide at that moment. Because I think, to be fair to us, like in that first part, after the first few minutes of the second half, we really started to come into our own with the disadvantage of the players on the pitch. And then once Martinelli came on and got that chance and didn't finish, it almost felt like, okay, that was like that boost that Bournemouth needed now to get another second win, and they definitely did. And after the next 10 minutes after that, we were down 2-0. So, first defeat of the season. Hopefully not the first of many. But yeah, if I'm being fair to Bournemouth, before the red card, they were slightly better. I don't think either team was that good to begin with, but I thought they were looking more likely to get it together. And then the minute the red card happened, the fans are up for it. The players get a boost, and it was uphill after that. And we weren't able to get our one chance that really you need to take in a game like this. And that ended up coming out to bite us, and we ended up losing 2-0 on the day. So, fallout from this game, obviously, Saliba, red card, couldn't come at a worse time. We host Liverpool next week at the Emirates. They come in as the league leaders. And, as Hot Chili was just asking, all we need to do is not lose. But, our track record when Saliba doesn't play is not the best. So let's see. We have better cover this season than in years past. But, will the cover that we want actually be fit? Tomiyasu not in the squad, Timber not in the squad. So, Jacob Kivior, we saw him come on and play that right-sided centre-back role, made a mistake. I still feel like Kivior is a little bit better as a fullback, just because he's a bit weak. Or if he's going to play centre-back, it has to be in a 3, not a 4. I just think he's a bit slight in the challenge for me. So let's see. We have a big game again tomorrow. It's one that we're supposed to get points out of. It's us hosting Shakhtar, so we need to get the 3 points at home. So we'll be looking to do that, and hopefully we can bounce back fast. Because we have to be ready Sunday for Liverpool. So all in all though, bullshit performance from my side, and fuckery by my coach. Sorry my language. Blood clot, but still vex. Tough loss, man, I tell you. A light blue jersey, me don't want it. Starting this team against Shakhtar at home, Pep would not approve. I don't think he's going to do that, to be honest. I think Jesus starts tomorrow. I think he might actually rest Havertz for once, because he did look a bit knackered after yesterday's game. But we'll see. I love Havertz still, so I don't know. It was a tough loss, bro. Set play FC, Omar said Martinelli overhyped player. I don't know who really hype him. I mean, I think he's just rated how he is, like a decent player. He's nothing, The only person I ever heard really overhype him was his name, Klopp. Klopp used to love that guy. What do you think of Ethan on the right wing? He could play there easily. He could play exactly where Saka play easily, if the coach don't want him to play midfield. Bro, he can play anywhere. Where you say you want to bet? Are you willing to bet? I mean, I bet against Arsenal. I will fix that great performance from the team and brilliant thinking by the coach. You will fix it, really? Actually, we not trust you for fix nothing over Arsenal, bro. Stay over the blue side. All right, so that was it for Saturday, people. Arsenal defeated down south at Bournemouth. Now, this was the morning game, Sunday morning, people. Typical City give up a goal early, and typical City win the game late. So, Vardial with another banger after a very good goal by Wolves. Good cross from Semedo, good finish from the striker Larson. Then Vardial, brilliant, weaker right foot again, far corner. So I got a finger, but not enough. And then 95th minute again, people. I think it was 98 against Arsenal, 95th this time. One was an equalizer this time. It's the winner, John Stones. But it was some controversy again, my people. One bag of controversy this week, you know. So as you can see, it was awarded actually in 97th by VAR. So originally, the ball going, them celebrate. Then you see them pan to the fourth official. You see my boy O'Neill, Gary O'Neill, after watching the replay, run over to the fourth official and say, oh, he's offside, he's offside, he's offside. So the fourth official say, hey, calm down. Start talking to the man. So it's awarded offside on the pitch. Man, them, you know, start cause Pep get up now, Then them send the man to go look on the board. No. So it look like it's a pool night, you know. Come on, I want to say. Because I'm not telling you what I think yet, you know. I end the pool there. So one person said no. It's a diehard Arsenal fan that. All right, so was Bernardo offside? Let me know. So you know the play in question, people. I jump right to that play. The winner of the game. I think, you know, before we start talking about that, just one thing more I say. Again, this is just proof that Wolves salt. Because Wolves played such a good game in this game, people. It can't be understated. Yes, in the second half, they had to sit back and soak up and do all this other stuff. But I still feel like they played well enough to get something out of this game. Even if it was just a point. Maybe a win would have been a bit much for how the game went. Because City was City in the end. They had more shots, more chances, everything like that. But it just was not, you know, that vintage, just domination type performance by City. And even when you look at the big chances, the two chances that were big in the game fell to the team with 22%. So, you know, they made the most of their possession. Honestly, they had good breaks, good transition plays. And, you know, they deserve something out of the game. But in the end, football is cruel. They didn't get nothing. John Stones got the winner. You have to give credit to Foden. Brilliant service. You have to give credit to the setup of the team because Stones had the space at the right time to connect. I have to cuss Michael Dawson because the man, or Craig Dawson, sorry, the man literally is looking at Stones, then he turns around to talk to somebody and tell him to mark somebody behind him, then he turn around and the ball in the air. That little split second of him turning around, you know, make him disengage from Stones and make Stones just free for just take a step and jump, you know. Anyway, he might get some kind of lean or something. He might not connect the header so clean. Ah, boy. But anyway, the contentious thing, before the header happens, Bernardo Silva is doing if you watch Arsenal or you're an Arsenal fan or even a football fan, you'd have seen Ben White stand up in front of the keeper before a corner, like every time. And it's been borderline with Ben White if he's interfering player or not. A lot of pundits asking, is this legal? Is this legal? Is this legal? So as an Arsenal fan, I cannot be biased. The man doing exactly what him see Ben White doing. Now, where I will say maybe it's a little different, I think Ben White does his foolishness a little bit prior to when I saw Bernardo doing it, because the ball is in the air and Bernardo kind of backs into the keeper just to kind of not allow him to set properly. Now, Bernardo IQ is 1,000, so you have to remember that. So what Bernardo does, you know, by the time the ball, let's say, is almost to where Stones is going to make the contact, he disengages from the keeper and immediately ducks down and goes to away from the play. So And the reason why I say his IQ is like a million is because when you look at it on VAR, the VAR does not go back far enough to see the bull crap that he's doing before the contact is made. They're only looking at it from the point of contact to when the keeper would have been trying to save it. And at that point, he's already like halfway ducked all the way onto the ground away from the keeper. So the timing of when he disengages from the keeper cannot be understated of how perfect it was. Because on VAR, they don't go back far enough to see what the bullcrap was that he was doing before. So it's not until you see, like, after the fact now, people showing back the footage and they start to talk about it, it's even in your mind that he's messing with the ref, the keeper at any point. So, again, Ben White, also, I think, a very high IQ player, also does it pretty much right up until the point when it would have been a foul. You know what I'm saying? Right up until that point. But to be honest, I'm going to vote on my own poll right now. And I'm going to tell you. Will it let me? I can't vote on my own poll. But if I had a vote, I would say it was not offside, people. And you know why? Because we are going to score some more corner this season. And I want consistency. So if them ever call Ben White for your offside, because Ben White smart just like Bernardo, So him do it to a point and then get out the damn way. As a matter of fact, most of the time when we score like that, Ben White gone a long time. But he has done his damage already. You know what I mean? So, I'm not going to fight to the City. I'm going to get on a goal. As I say, brilliant service by Foden. You could have put the ball anywhere else, but you put it right there, so. And Stones was right there to finish it. So, I have to give you credit. My Virgin was telling me all through the second half. Yeah, man, last minute goal by City, can see it a forward from now and this and that. I'm saying, oh, you're probably right, because that is what they do, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's what happened. So, yes, you had Chile saying Arsenal did it against City. There you go. Regular jostling by Arsenal, good explanation. Yeah. I mean, I keep it 1,000. I am an Arsenal fan, right? But this, you will find, like, yes, I have my bias towards Arsenal, but when it comes on to, like, actually analyzing a play, I can usually remove myself out of it and not. You know what I mean? Yeah. That ball by Semedo was brilliant still. That is so true. Sesko to Arsenal. I think it would be a good move. I think we've kind of realized that the way Arteta, well, if Arteta is the manager, I think it's a good move because he does like that option of the player. I think that's what's killing Jesus from getting game right now. Like the man fall in love with this direct knockdown type of style with Havertz. He don't even want to play Jesus again. Well, see, that's the thing. You can be deemed offside if you have interfered with the keeper in an offside position. And I think that's the argument, because normally when you're called for that offside, it's because the ball went in the goal and you were blocking the keeper's vision at the time, which is why I say Bernardo is a genius, because he was blocking his vision all the way up until the man jumped for the ball. And if you notice, by the time he's in the air, that's about when he finally pushes him actually out of the way. And as soon as he gets pushed, he just ducks down. And, it happens so fast, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's just, if you're a goalkeeper, they're not going to call a penalty on you for shoving the man out of your way. They're not. So you should just do it earlier in the process. Why are you waiting until the ball halfway into the area to then push the man? Get him out of your way from before that, brother. So you can, because I feel like him just wasn't set properly. That's why the ball go past him right over him head, Because he might push Bernardo and him kind of dip for push him. And if you notice, when him stand up, like he's not a short guy, and the ball went between him and the goal, it wasn't like it hit off the underside of the bar. It was like just over his head. Oh boy, but it came at nuts still. It was good power on the header still, to be honest. I said, "Fuck that BS. It obstruct the keeper view." Marlon King say yellow for obstruction. Wolves really sad because City scoring a corner that not normal, don't it? Him never offside because I never him scored a goal. Yeah, but you can still be deemed offside if you never scored or red skull. Really? Boy, that's rough. Why the man keep getting on City games, man? Just don't put him on it. Regular Jocelyn. Yeah. I did read that already. Well, in the score from a corner, no, still. I mean, it was a short corner, yeah, so it's a little different, but it was a corner. More goals than Rashford in 2024. As I wonder, I never say Martinelli, but I think Martinelli might have been beat still. Might, but it's probably close. All right, so that's the Wolves City game, people. I mean, more happened than just that incident, but I thought I wanted to give more time to that. So the next game, another big game, people, Liverpool and Chelsea. So this game right here, I think was a really good game. That's a good watch, a very nice game to watch. I thought both teams did well. I think most Liverpool fans were, not most, but some Liverpool fans were like, kind of upset because of the nature of how the game was played, and like Chelsea was so much in the game, especially like in that second half and large chunks of the first. Like it looks like they were the team that maybe was at home. But I kept telling people, like, who you guys get used to this as a Liverpool fan. It's gonna be more pragmatic. It's gonna be, less high press, more mid block. So yeah, just get used to it. It's a new coach, new tactics. It's not heavy metal. It's more like, I don't know. It's like one of them stations that play a lot of different type of music, because I don't think Slot plays one way. Like you see that they still have the danger in transition offensively, but they don't get caught in defensive transition as much. And a part of the reason for that is it's not heavy metal. They're not just all out pressing with all 10 people on the field. It's a lot more measured. It's a lot more balanced. They're pressing with the front four. If the front four don't cause any turnover, they go back into a mid block and they wait. And when they win possession, they have more around the ball, so they can possess. They can play possession and build out. Or if they have an opportunity, they will still go direct and go long and beat you on the counter. So they can play. They can switch it up, which I think is going to be much better for them in the long run, to be honest. A lot of Liverpool fans don't like to hear that, but I'm telling you, it's going to help you guys. I'm telling you. Why you think Trent Alexander-Arnold don't get exposed this season as much? Why you think you don't only concede, 3 goals for the season? It has a lot to do with the way you guys play now as opposed to how you used to play. But anyway, that's my little talk onto Liverpool fans, trying to educate them and tell them it's not so bad what's going on. Your team is actually much more balanced right now. Moise Caicedo, brilliant game. One of his best games I can remember. And he's actually becoming quite consistent in the midfield for them. Lavia, I'm telling you, if this guy can stay fit, part of that first half was so impressive for Chelsea with those two in the pivot. It was like, how do you press this team with these two guys? If you press them, they just turn and just drive left you. Especially Lavia. This man have a turn of pace that's crazy, right? Sancho, probably his quietest game so far for Chelsea. But I still feel like he had a penalty shot in that first half. Very clumsy defending from Trent, but it was, not even looked at by the officials, I don't think. Madueke was getting free down that right at times in the first half, but just never really had the end product. Good finish from Jackson on the day. I think he was kind of feeling the effects of some kind of back injury at times. Didn't look himself, but lasted the whole 90 still. Got his customary yellow and becoming a bit more customary now, his goal. And then Cole Palmer, definitely one of his more quiet days. Really, really anonymous in the first half. Kind of got a little bit more into it in the second, but was never as influential in this one as you wanted him to be. I think they pretty much said, you know what, the wings you can have. We're just going to load up this midfield. I think Soboslai even played more reserved than normal, just to have more bodies in the half space and not, because Palmer will find space. That's what he does. But he just could never find enough space to really influence the game. He could only drop real deep to get space, and he's not going to influence the game as much from deep. So, good game plan, I thought, from Slot. it might have hampered Soboslai's output attacking, but definitely, stopped the opponent. So, he just decided to just say, okay, the front three, you guys are going to be a little more isolated today, but, we'll be well equipped to deal with transition and well equipped to deal with Palmer in the half space. And it worked out. It worked out. It did sacrifice some possession on the day, some territory even, but I think in the end, it was a good game plan. And for me, they slightly maybe should have got the win. It could have been another way though, to be honest. But I think they did deserve the win in the end. The possession stats say that Chelsea had the better, which was true. But I think a lot of that was just kind of allowing them possession at the same time, just because they knew that the more they played, the more they could hurt them. Because the solidity that we've seen in Liverpool's backline, we have not seen anything near that in Chelsea's, to be honest. They had some decent results in the last few games, but I think those are more going to be anomalies. I think what we saw in the last game, mistake by the keeper, just a couple little hairy moments from the defenders here and there. That's going to be more towards the norm for Chelsea this season. I think what's going to hold them back from really having any kind of serious title challenge, I just don't think that the goalkeeper and the backline will hold up enough over the course of the 38 games, but their offense is dangerous. So they could outscore you on their given day, but when they play the better teams who don't give up that many chances, I don't think they'll be able to stay in it, because they'll always be at risk to just give away a goal. Expected goals won by Liverpool. They both had 3 big chances on the day, both teams. 3 more shots than Liverpool on the day for Chelsea. 3 saves for Chelsea's keeper, 1 for Liverpool. 5 corners to 1 in favor of Chelsea. So Chelsea did have the better of some of these stats, if we're being totally honest. They had more passes attempted. Liverpool doubled them in tackles, though. 1 more yellow card for Liverpool. Shots on target 5-2 in favor of Liverpool, though, even though the overall shots were in favor of Chelsea. Then we have, let's check the entries. They should be pretty close, final third entries. Yeah, see there, 56-54 in favor of Chelsea. Chelsea had more accurate passes, about 140 of those. More touches in the penalty area as well. But the difference was just conversion of the big chances. 2 converted to 1 and 2 missed to 1. So that was the real difference in the game right there, just the conversion of the big chances. Of course, 1 big chance was a penalty, which does make a big difference as well. Then we have the final third phase. Chelsea had more opportunities in there, better percentage as well. They went long, less time, so a little bit better playing against that pressure. Liverpool definitely weren't as brave. At times they just said, you know what, let's just go route 1, win those second balls, which they did a lot of the time. And then we have the crosses, limited amount for Liverpool. Chelsea, on the other hand, trying a bunch. 17 of them to 4 only tried for Liverpool. So Liverpool stays top of the table. Big result for them. And Chelsea, I think if you're a Chelsea fan, yeah, it's hard to accept you lost the game and everything, but I really and truly think you guys are onto something. Just need to get a few more stable bodies on that back line, and I think you guys will be in for a treat as fans of Chelsea in the near future. All right, people. Then the last game of the week, we had the Monday night football fixture in England. It was Forest versus Palace. It was literally Chris Wood trying to score a goal for 65 minutes before eventually getting one. The man hit the woodwork, came close with a diving header, came close with a shot. Palace, on the other hand, had their chances as well. For a game that was 1-0, it was quite action-packed. A lot of shots for both teams. Both teams created some decent chances as well. But in the end, Forest, the difference really was that striker. I mean, Mateta started the season, you would think he would be one of the informed strikers. Hasn't really panned out. They brought in Nketiah, and Nketiah started today. Had a decent game as well, but wasn't able to find the target. On the other hand, Chris Wood, huffed and puffed and just kept going, and eventually he was able to find that target. And big shout out as well. I watched this game, and I think one of the big reasons why I had it as a 0-0 draw in my prediction was no Morgan Gibbs-White. I just feel like he's so important to everything they do. They would always struggle without him. But I must say, the kid they got from Newcastle, Elliot Anderson, This guy was balling today. I mean, maybe he needs to play more attacking because you don't see this type of output from him when he plays deeper in midfield. But his close control, some of his dribbles that he was doing today was serious. Yeah, man, Elliot Anderson, bro, he was playing excellent in this game. I think he's young too, man. How old is Elliot Anderson? Like 22, 23 maybe at the most. Let me see. Yeah, he had the same score as the keeper, 8.9. But yeah, he played like a baller today in that Morgan Gibbs White role. Yeah, 21. He's young. I knew he was young. Let me see. So where's so I can't see the man. Yeah, big money. 41 million them spending. I don't know. But it raised my eyebrow when I saw that. But believe me, this guy, I don't know, man. They need to give him more chance in more attacking roles because he looked dangerous in attack, man. Yeah, he looked more dangerous in the AM role. I can't lie. It's like, how can he play there when Gibbs White is fit, you know? But he's good too, man. He's very good. I was very, very impressed with him in that role. It's like I never knew he had that kind of that level of skill, you know. Never know. Did it go to VAR though? It went to VAR. I don't remember it going to VAR. But that was a pen, man. He got beaten on that play. I said too much here. Or too much heat. Okay, so it couldn't get cold. Yeah, somebody tell me say the cold palmer melt in the game. Man, melt to blow. Also, we challenged Liverpool despite the loss. That was a wake up call. So I think the team will react swiftly. Yeah, I mean, look, it's the first, as Arteta said in a press conference today. The man say, "Yo, man, them Kadema asked him in a Champions League press conference, like, what can you say to the players after that loss?" And he said, "He said, listen, I have to put the thing in context, bro. That's our first loss away from the Emirates in 2024. So that means all I have to tell them to do is to go back to being yourselves, and you know that's clearly an anomaly based on how we play and what we do. So, you know, there's no need to panic, people. It's one game. Just relax. Just relax, people. Just relax." But yeah, 1-0. Chris Wood got the victory. Crystal Palace in the mud. Can't do nothing. So it's rough on Palace right now, people. So yeah, we are run the time I run away from with people. So let's just close off the show just by showing you the league standings in the actual EPL after 8 game weeks. Very, very entertaining action. So let's take a look, and we're going to start in the relegation and move our way up. So relegation zone, we have Wolves 1 point, -13, tied on points with Southampton, -12. So they have 19 instead of 20th, and it gets no easier for either team. Wolves has to play against Brighton away at the Amex, and Southampton, what do they get? A trip to the Etihad to face Manchester City. Potential triple captain loading. Haaland hasn't scored in like 3 weeks. He's due for about 6 goals. So I might just triple captain him this week. Aha! All you people that use it already, sorry for you know. All right, 18. The last place or the other relegation place right now is Crystal Palace. Didn't think they would be here, people, to be honest. -6 right now, 3 points, and they have no rest either. They will host Tottenham next week. Tottenham hasn't really traveled as well as playing at home, so let's see what kind of result they can muster in at Sellers Park. Then we have Ipswich Town out of the relegation zone. Really not out of it. They were out since last week, but still basically in 17th. Everybody else around them pretty much made up ground. Everton was right there with them at 5. They beat them to take a 4-point gap over them now. Brentford is the trip for Ipswich next week. So tough place to win. Let's see if Ipswich can bounce back next week. Everton, good run of form, no losses in their last 4, 2 draws and 2 wins. So for them, that's really good form. Basically all their points on the season so far in their last 4. Then they have a tough match. They will host Fulham. Yeah, Fulham has been a team that, and they're given they can give any team in the league a good match. Everton, I think, should be brimming with confidence at this point and definitely would be wanting to give their fans another home win after their first win of the season coming against Palace at home. Then we have West Ham, and they'll be facing another mid-table team right now, Manchester United. But West Ham on the same points as Everton, but a slightly better goal difference, -4. Then we move into Leicester City, and that game will be at the London Stadium in West Ham against United. Then we have Leicester City 9 points, Brentford 13. Leicester will face Nottingham Forest next week at home. That should be a good one as well. Leicester and Nottingham, 2 of the more stingy defenses of late, especially with 2 informed goalkeepers, Hermansen and Sells, keeping really well right now. Brentford, as I said, playing Ipswich. They are in 13th with 10. United playing West Ham, as I said, traveling to West Ham, 11 points with a -2 goal difference. So keep on monitoring the goal difference of United this season. Bournemouth, 11 points right now after their victory. So they jumped up in the table just over United on goal difference and also just behind Fulham. Same goal difference, but Fulham have 1 more goal scored. So that puts them ahead of them. Everton hosts Fulham, and next week Villa take on Bournemouth. So a tough trip away to Villa Park for Bournemouth. Then we have Newcastle. The loss dropped them down a bit in the table. They are on 12 points still. Goal difference now down to 0. And they have a tough match next week. Have to travel to Stamford Bridge to take on Chelsea Sunday morning. Then we have Nottingham Forest. By virtue of their win, they are now up to 8th place. So a very good start for Nuno. Just the 1 loss, 3 wins and 4 draws so far this season. So very stingy team, only 6 goals conceded, but also stingy with their own goals. Only 8 goals scored in their 8 matches played. They have a matchup with Leicester next week, so they'll be looking to continue that winning form. Tottenham now moved up to 7th as well, 13 points after their win. Good goal difference for them, 9, 18 goals scored, so almost leading scorer. I think 2nd top scoring team in the league so far. 9 conceded. But their problem is they have 3 losses out of their first 8 games. So that's why they're only on 13 points. They do play Crystal Palace next week. So they'll be looking forward to that one. But as I said, haven't traveled as much or as well as they've played at home. Chelsea, 14 points after the loss to Liverpool. 4 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses, goal difference of 7. Also a pretty high scoring team with 17 goals so far. Conceded those 10 though. And then they'll face Newcastle next week. That should be a very good matchup there at the Bridge. Brighton, 15 points. They keep moving right along. Now in 5th place, goal difference of 4. They have a good matchup next week, at least in the table, versus last place Wolves. As I said, Wolves, don't take them lightly. At some point, they have to have a game go their way. Hopefully for Brighton, it's not this week. Then we have Aston Villa, top 4 again, 4th place, 17 points. Arsenal, same amount of points, 17 as well, but a slightly better goal difference with 7, Villa and 5. Villa have the better matchup this week. They host Bournemouth, while Arsenal do have to host league leaders Liverpool, who are on 21 points with a goal difference of 12. Best defense in the league so far. Only 3 goals conceded from 8 games with 15 goals scored. Man City, top scorers 19, goal difference of 10 there and 20 points. And like I said, they host Southampton, I think, who are in 19th right now. So the first and third play each other. All the other teams are around them, with kind of slightly favorable matchups of definitely City and Brighton for the most part. Bournemouth a little bit tougher of an opponent, but still at Villa Park, I'm sure Villa would fancy themselves. So that is the league table as of right now. I just wanted to show you guys what's going on after week 8. Now, without further ado, people, we have to give the credit to the folks who took part in this week's late night edition of the picks. And thanks to those who sent in their picks via link afterwards. But what we want to do now, people, is throw on screen first, drum roll, please. This is our donkey of the week. And I don't even know. I don't even need to show the graphic because the actual donkey of the week is none other than yours truly, people. I have never in my entire life picked 10 games in a week and only got 1. So, yeah, this was the maddest week ever in my life picking games. This is crazy. So I'm going to blame it on doing the show late after I was out with family, enjoying a bit too much things, So my reasoning and ways that I came to my conclusions were courtesy of Jerry and his nephew. You see me? So it makes perfect sense. And that's not an excuse. That's just the truth. Okay? I was a bit happy when I did the program last Friday. So, yeah, I should have just had my predictions from before, but I was doing them on the fly, which was stupid. So I think my emotions got the best of me, and some of these picks I was just, too much Jerry and his nephew. So the donkey of the week, people. Yours truly, people. Yours truly. I couldn't avoid it, people. I was the donkey, so I got the donkeys in. But these are the point standings for the week, people. So big up to everyone who participated and those who sent it in off the air. But yes, the winner this week, people, big bad Fana Minot with a 7-3 record. And he was, quite a lengthy winner. Very, very rarely do you have a 2-game lead in the standings, but he had 1 correct score, totally correct for the week, and that result was the 2-1 victory for which side that the 2-1 Liverpool game. That was what he got perfect there. So yeah, big up to Fana Minot, 7-3. Tied for second was Duke and Nick with 5-5. They both had 0 correct scores. So of course the person with the Hall last name, obviously better. So I had to put him above Duke this week. Hot Chili got the tiebreaker over Biggs. They had the both 4 and 6, but Hot Chili did have 1 correct score. So Chili just beat out Biggs for 4th. And then we have Mass Sports, in the just before donkey roll. But 2 and 8 on most weeks would have gotten him that award. But of course, I told Mass to hold my beer because I am a donkey. So yeah, not the best showing, people. But hey, have to be honest, it was not very good. Now, the last thing I want to do, people, is just give you guys an update. I know I've been filling you guys in on how my FPL season has been going. So let me show you guys what happened this week. To be totally honest, this was not the best week for me. And I can't blame that on any kind of J Ray or any nephews, because I did all these things way prior to any of those things happening that day. So yeah, this is just me. I think I just was, maybe it was the international break. I was overthinking it. I don't know, people, but I didn't really do so well in anything this week. But the good thing is, it looks like, I was not the only one, because a lot of people in the league that I'm in this season didn't really have the best week, to be honest. So this is how it looked this week after this week's standing. So somehow I'm still in 4th. I was 4th last week, and I'm 4th this week. And I think the reason for that is, yeah, nobody really blew up with the points this week. I mean, I had 37. You know, I still caught up with third place because they were only at 29. That's Glove and Palmer. Um, you know, even the leaders didn't get away from me. You know, the first place guy got the same as me. Second place only got 4 more, so I'm close. So really and truly, I didn't lose much this week. Now, some did get closer to me. You know, Foreign Spider, Owen Gray, Fabi Frano, they all got closer to me this week due to their points. You know, some others lower down. Demo had a decent week trying to come back a little bit there. But yeah, I'm pleased. I mean, to have 37 and still only be 12 points behind the lead, that is totally fine by me. Could have been a lot worse. But this was my actual team this week who I played. Yeah, the average this week was pretty low around the world, to be honest. I was right at the average, which is not good. You want to be above that, but that's okay. Yeah, Raya started him, had Flecken on my bench. Of course, I lost 3 points there in the differential. So I could have got 3 more in that regard. Vardial saved my backline, to be honest. His goal and extra bonus points there got him to 10. Gabriel conceded twice. Fast conceded twice as well. Rogers got me a goal. So luckily, somebody on my midfield did something because everybody else did nothing. Of course, I had Saka starting. He didn't play. So I think Semenyo subbed down for me. Smith Rowe, I think he got a yellow. I know he played. Yeah, he got a yellow card. That's all. Because I was like, he played over 60 minutes. So yeah, didn't score or assist. So nothing for Palmer, nothing for Smith Rowe, nothing for Semenyo. Then in the forward line, really and truly, only one of them bagged the goal. That was Wood. And then Haaland, because he had his captain bonus, got 4. Should have been really 2. And Antonio got his 2. So too good to be true last week for Antonio getting 18 points. Back to reality, 2 points this week. So that was the 37. Not the best showing, but as I said, nobody really ran away with it this week. So we'll give thanks for that. All right. And then let me go to my fantasy draft league. So in one league, I'm in first place. I have about about 28 point cushion here. Only 37 points here. So very, very similar to my output in the other league. But this was my team, Raya, Dina, Mitchell, Milenkovic. Thank God I picked him up. Got me a clean sheet. Trossard did nothing but got the clean sheet before he came off. Johnson didn't score or assist. 4 goals. 4 goals scored by Tottenham, you know. And may have them 2 ball and neither one of them score or assist. Can you imagine that? Crazy. Barnes didn't start, which I thought was madness. He's been playing well, but didn't start. Salah, luckily, did something this week, so I got 12 out of him. That's really the bulk of the points is Salah, Milenkovic. That's it. Those 2 guys, really and truly. So somehow I got 37 points out of this week. Didn't leave any points on my bench. Well, I guess Pope did better than Raya, but I mean, 2 points was the big deal. And yeah, I mean, I guess I could have started Semenyo over Barnes, but yeah. Yeah, not the best showing. But in my other league, I'm also in first, I believe, yeah. And I have a big lead in this one, like 50 odd points. But this is how my team was this week. I got 40. So I picked up the Leicester keeper. Didn't get a clean sheet, but had a bag of saves. So even though he conceded 3, still got 3 points. I had Henderson as well, who got 3. Then backline, poor. Gabriel, Leaf Davis, 1 point apiece. Dina got an assist, luckily. So I got 4 out of him. You know, have Salah again saving the day. And I have Welbeck in this league. That's why I had the 3 extra points here. So not the best fantasy weeks, but it really wasn't a good week for many people this week. Not many big point hauls by anybody. So at least none of the people in my leagues. So yeah, that is pretty much it, people, as far as the fantasy goes. And it looks like I didn't even have you guys seeing this stuff, so that didn't really help. But yeah, without further ado, people, it's them time there. 2 hours and 20 minutes on the docket to run a little bit over, but definitely the conversation did hot this week, so I had to get through all the topics. Big bullet points. Liverpool still on top. Arsenal hosting them this weekend, so let's see if that changes. City should be a big scoreline against Southampton. But hey, Southampton came to the Emirates and played us tough. Can they do the same at the Etihad? Let's see. And then yeah, we have all the other talking points next week, of course, to be previewed. I think next week, if I'm not mistaken, there's like a Friday game. So I'll have to kind of tweak when I do the show this week. Let me see. Fixtures. I don't know why I think this week there's a Friday game. Yes, there is a Friday game, Leicester and Forest. So what I will do, I'll do a show on Thursday night. So the preview show this week, people, is going to be Thursday night due to the fact that there's a game on Friday. All right, so look out for that Thursday night, people. Will do a regular preview show. We'll go through all the games, give our predictions. So everybody that's a part of that, make sure to tune in. I will try to do the thumbnail at some point during the day so people can kind of see it from early. But you know, my things set, it's hard for me to set times too far in advance because I never really know when the time will be right to actually go live. So just bear with me, people. Turn on the notification bell. That's the best way to stay tuned with everything I got going on. And thanks again for the support, people. Let me check the like button. Yeah, man, we can live with that. 50 likes was the target, but we're very close. So I'm sure by the time we lock off the show, people start to see the show again, we can get to that like target, people. So thanks so much for the support. As I said, big up all the man them who took part and the woman them who took part in the predictions. And next week, be here. Actually, later this week, be here. Same place, same channel. We're going to do it on Thursday, not Friday this week, because we have a Friday game this week. Full preview show with predictions, match analysis, team news, and of course, Champions League tomorrow. Arsenal playing Shakhtar, among other teams playing tomorrow. So Champions League week, big up on yourself. I have some free time later in the week, so look out for some content. Definitely want to do a Reggae Girls content coming up here shortly. They have a couple of games coming up next week, so I want to give the time to tell you guys about the squad picked by the coach. So look out for that, all you Reggae Girls fans and Jamaica fans. So I will be dropping that some point this week. All right, people. So big up on yourself. Thanks again for the support. And like always, Jason Gooner TV, we're out of the building, people. Hope the rotted Gooners. Shakhtar, sorry for you tomorrow. Zaid, big up, people. We out.